mixed with capitalism, but more towards, it's a continuum. The socialists are more towards the left, the capitalists, so you can say America and then China. But it's interesting that America borrows from China heavily.
I have my own theories about that, but go ahead.
Yes,
You keep.
yes. So, if we say that the capitalist system frees the person to do what they want, own and do what, why hasn't it solved that problem? Why is it for borrowing from the socialist system? Those are questions that need answers. But cooperatives have existed since man landed on this earth.
Right.
To guard against nature, single-handedly you couldn't. But when technology came and people possessed guns, you could kill a lion alone. So problems of inequality set in. And somebody had to do something about making sure that those who are alone are also helped. You don't, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if you were head of agriculture in Uganda, how would you rank the needs and how you would use foreign investment to help build Uganda and help Uganda grow?
And that's where investors go wrong. You are talking about what has already been produced. How is it produced? Who produces it? So if you talk about adding value and marketing, on what are you adding value? On what are you marketing? See, a strategic investor doesn't start with oil wells, rather with refinery. Starts with identification of oil wells so that the supply can keep constant. So when people come say, okay, now we want to help you add value, export. On what are you adding value? And the farmer has many challenges. Here it is weather. Actually, the farmer bears all the risks. So I think any investor must understand the risks of the farmer and help on eliminating those risks so that they can have what to produce. Before tobacco had a problem, it had a good policy. They would support farmers with inputs, with what, on condition that they sell them the produce, what they have produced. So they were involved really in ensuring that the production was right. So that, production alone is not enough. You can produce, but if there is no market, you have a problem. Because it's marketing which puts money in the pockets of the farmer. And good money is when you get the highest. And the beauty with cooperatives, why we support them, is that a farmer should never lose title. At what stage should a farmer lose title? After he has produced and handed over to the value addition person? Or, depending, it depends. This is why people who deal in agriculture sometimes are poor, but they make those who are on higher value chains richer. But cooperatives want to keep an eye on at what stage do I lose title of my product? And whoever can make, you know, can say, well, at this value chain, this is your cut. At this value chain, this is your cut. There is no way you cannot produce.
Yes.
Knowing that if you start with the oil well and you have problems, or rather with the refinery, and you have problems with the oil well, your investment there will go waste. So, for me, that is, any investor must look, any serious investor must look at these three components. What are the challenges of production? If you are interested in the commodity, how do we solve it to make this a proper oil well which will supply us the product we want to refine? Once you have that basics is done, then you know, okay, the next stage is to refine it, to refine it so that you can get value from what you have produced. But this will be your percentage also when we get this. I'm talking about cooperative lines. What is the best market? So for me, any investor must really decide. If you want to invest in adding value without being concerned about production and the challenges it has, the risks farmers, particularly small-scale farmers, have. And, small-scale farmers, this is still a peasant agriculture. They're trying to make it commercial. But it has its challenges. Because also people are not used to these things. You said you've been here under the lockdown of COVID.
Yes.
Ugandans survived because there was food. I pick tomatoes from my garden, get a banana. This business of Europeans of having flowers and what, these are the flowers of an African. I grow what I eat. So, people survived because they said, if we extensively do this and undermine our food security, where shall we be? They are very, very, very intelligent. In fact, they are more calculative than we people who impose certain things. They need to be taken stage by stage. That's what I think.
Yes.
So, yes, we welcome investors and in agriculture, but they must understand the importance of these three stages, and particularly the foundational one. And its challenges, because yes, now they have, you can have farms where it's hands off, like in Britain, it's done by machines.
Yeah.
Here we are saying, open up land. We produce by opening up so much land, like I saw in your pictures.
Yes.
But that should consider the terrain of the country. That should consider the technology, whether if you have open land, you have also technology to weed and harvest those without. But with us saying children must go to school, even labor is difficult. So these things have to be seen through. That's my point of view. I'm a very old man,
Your expertise. Please, please. Your
Yeah.
expertise is it's
I'm
amazing. It's amazing.
an old man, but yeah, those would be my three considerations if I am an investor. I see a product, and you know the value of the product. Even when it is in the sky, people will look for it.
Right.
If you find gold somewhere in a hidden place, there will be roads going there because people know its value.
Yes.
So in agriculture, once you have discovered the value of the product you want to invest in, and you are serious, you say, what are the challenges of producing this product in the circumstances? What do I need to fix?
Yes.
Of course, you can, if you have a niche market and you know what they need, yeah, you can start small, sort out that niche market so that the supply is constant. Once the supply is broken, you are out of business.
Yes. Yes.
Once the quality is broken, you're out of business.
I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to speak with you today and meeting you. This entire hour has been a blessing, and I want to soak up as much knowledge as I can. As a man of your expertise, you can't go wrong. You're well traveled. You've been in the U.S., lived in Washington, D.C.
You said you have been to how many countries?
Yes.
You have been to how many countries?
25.
I have been to over 45.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Yes.
amazing.
And you know what was interesting when I was in the US? They would ask me, what's your name? I say, I'm Charles Kabuga. They say, what does Charles mean? I say, I don't know. What does Kabuga mean? I say, I was born in a courtyard. The courtyard in my language is called a Kabuga. So the black American looked at me and said, this is why our continent will remain behind. I said, why? I am here studying with you and even doing better than you. You are saying, he said it will remain behind. I said, no, I want an answer. So he said, here we are in America, trying to call ourselves your names which have meaning. And there you are in Africa, calling yourselves names whose meanings you don't know. It was very sobering. And since then, my children don't carry any European names. I say Charles because it's an accident of history. I cannot run away from it. But I have to say my children. And when they go for this baptism, they ask them, but have you no Christian name? Like one of them is Ariho Kamara or Asas Rabuga. In fact, your phone should have been repaired by his company. He said, have no. He said, well, yeah, they have no Christian name. I said, no. My Christian name is Ariho. My son name is Kamara.
You make sense, but on the contrary, many of the African Americans hold slave last names.
Yes.
And so, me personally, I think it's important to, find out your roots.
Yes.
Find out your tribe, where you come from. Because that definitely plays a part, because it's a part of your DNA.
Yes.
It's definitely a part of your DNA. And culture means everything.
Yes.
Me coming back to Uganda and getting attached to my culture, learning more about my culture.
You didn't marry an African woman?
Yes. that's all a part of, to me, that's all a part of God's blessing.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because I'm learning that I have structure. My life or my culture has structure. There are rules. There's pride in your culture, but there's also respect and morals. Not just, coming from a culture where your people are thought of as just entertainers, musicians, athletes, thugs. That
Cheers. This is agriculture.
some good watermelon. Some really good watermelon.